Hello everyone, back again with Story Recap. Before we get to storyline, I wish all happy and great day. Hey, today I'm going to recap the comedy romance movie called Bad Teacher. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film begins with a group of teachers as they celebrate the end of the school year. The headmaster informs them that Elizabeth is leaving work and they must bid her a sweet farewell. He gives her a $40 voucher as a gift. She tells them that she is sad because she will leave work because she was very attached to the students and teachers. But in fact, this was a lie from her because she never liked the teaching profession and all she cared about was money. Then she got into the car her fiancé had bought her to meet him. She was surprised that he and her mother were waiting for her. He tells her that he will separate from her. Her fiancé's mother talks to her and accuses her of not loving her son, but that she loves money. This is because Elizabeth took $16,000 from her fiancé's company and spent them in 1 month. She is trying to justify her position to him, but her fiancé was determined in his decision and wanted to separate from her because he was sure that she loves money. 3 months later, she returns to work at school again. She was angry because she does not like this job and she wants to marry any rich person. Amy meets her and tells her that she is sad for her because she broke up with her fiancé, and it was clear that she hates Elizabeth. Elizabeth tells her that she was the one who broke up with her fiancé because he was cheating on her. After that, we see her looking at fashion magazines to look for a new dress. Lynn comes to her and suggests that they go to a restaurant to have lunch together. Elizabeth tells Lynn that she wants to have plastic surgery in order to marry a rich person. Lynn told her that this was a good idea, but that she would need a lot of money to do it. The next day, she is late to class, and instead of explaining to the students, she turns on the television for them and then takes a nap. At lunchtime, the school's games teacher, Russell, comes up to her and asks her out on a date. It is clear that he has a crush on Elizabeth, but she refused and told him that she only goes out with rich people. After that, she went back to class. She met a new teacher, and it was clear that he was a rich person. She went to get to know him, and he told her that his name was Scott and that he was a new employee at the school. She asked him about his financial condition in order to know if he was a rich person or not. He is surprised by this question, but he replies that his family is rich and they own watch stores. She asked him if he was in a relationship, but he told her that he broke up with his girlfriend 2 months ago. Then he told her that he keeps a picture of his ex-girlfriend on his phone because she is the girl of his dreams. Then she starts thinking of a way to get Scott's attention. She decided to have plastic surgery. She went to the doctor to do plastic surgery. When she asked the doctor's secretary about the price of the plastic surgery, she told her that it was $10,000. She did not have this amount of money. When she returned home, she called her ex-fiancé and asked him to give her $10,000 to undergo a serious surgery, but he refused to help her. She was at a friend's house and asked for money, but he also refused. The next day, as usual, she turns on the TV for the students. When the lesson ended, she noticed that a student named Garrett had a crush on a girl and was trying to talk to her. Then a student comes to her and tells her that the school has set up a car wash project for the students and a teacher must be responsible for them. But she ignores her words. But when the student told her that they had managed to collect $6,000, she was surprised. She goes to the principal's office to make her the project manager. When she found out that the school principal loves dolphins, she told him that she loves dolphins very much, all in order to get him to agree to make her the project manager. But he told her that Amy is in charge of the project and has been running the project for 2 years. She tries to convince him to put her in charge of the project by telling him that she wants to make Amy relax because she has a lot of responsibilities at school. Already the principal of the school agrees to appoint her in charge of the project. She goes with the students to wash cars. She caught everyone's attention with her clothes. After that, Scott comes to school. She notices that he has a very luxurious car. She offered to go out on a date, but he embarrassed her and refused, under the pretext that he was going to celebrate with his family. After completing her car wash job, she was able to get a good amount of money. Amy was looking at her and was envious of her for taking her place in the project. So she went to the school principal, who was in the bathroom, to complain to him about Elizabeth's actions, which took advantage of her body to get money. But the school principal tells her that the parents were happy with Elizabeth and that she should not talk about her so badly. The next day, the parents meet with Elizabeth to tell her that their children's academic standard is very poor. But she tells them that she is following a new teaching strategy, as she tells them that she is raising students' awareness so that they can study. Then she tried to lure parents into giving her money in exchange for her giving private lessons to their children. Over time, she begins to use her powers as a teacher and takes anything from the school and sells it to collect money for the plastic surgery. All this in order to attract Scott's attention to her. Amy goes to Scott and gives him a book as a Christmas gift. It was obvious that they liked each other. On the other hand, Elizabeth was in her car using marijuana, and suddenly a female student came to her and asked her what she was doing. She told her that she was using medical marijuana because the doctor had prescribed it for her to suffer from fatigue. The student gives Elizabeth a cake as a gift. Then she asked her to give her advice to be successful in her life. Elizabeth tells her that she should do what she loves. At night, she goes to a party attended by all the school teachers. Russell comes and offers her to smoke marijuana together, but she refuses. After that, she goes to a dance with Scott, who tells her that he wants her opinion on something important. He told her that he had a crush on one of the teachers at school, but he was ashamed to tell her. She gets very excited because she thought he was talking about her, but she was surprised when he told her that he liked Amy. She tells him that she is not suitable for him because she is bossy and spiteful. She also told him that Amy covets his money and that she will perform plastic surgery to make him bond with her. Then she returns to the party and asks Russell to go get some marijuana. They talk together, and he tells her that he likes her, but she was not focused on him because of her marijuana use. He also told her that he knew that she wanted to have plastic surgery, and he advised her not to do that because he thought she was beautiful. Then she came home and was trying to smoke marijuana, but the lighter ran out of gas, so she went to the store to buy a new lighter. But she found that the store was closed. Then the student Garrett, who was with his mother, sees her. So his mother invites her to come to the house to celebrate Christmas. Indeed, she goes and finds that the family is happy, while Elizabeth was eating dinner, and she was not interested and felt bored. After that, she advised Garrett that if he wants to get close to the girl he likes, he should change his appearance and style, because girls like a person who takes care of his clothes and appearance. The next day, she meets Scott, who invites her to attend his band's concert. He told everyone that he had written the lyrics of a song specially for the girl he admired. Amy was happy because he wrote the lyrics of this song for her. Elizabeth was jealous, so she left the party and asked her friend why Scott didn't like her. Her friend tries to motivate her and tells her that if she had plastic surgery, most young men would seek to marry her. Then she tells her that there is an examination by the ministry for the best student in the state, and if a student from her class scores, she will be honored, and they will give her a reward of $6,000. She was angry because she was not teaching the students well, and that all the students in her class were failures. So the next day, she went to school and decided to change the way she taught the students. She starts teaching them seriously and tells them that people who do not study well will be punished. Indeed, with the passage of time, students' performance begins to improve. All this because she wants to get the financial reward from the ministry. We watch Amy talking to a girl in Elizabeth's class and asking her if she saw her teacher doing something wrong. Indeed, she told her that she saw Elizabeth using marijuana in the car. So Amy goes to the school principal and tells him about this matter, but he does not believe her because she has no evidence of this. After that, she gave her students a test. Although they did well on the test, she was unhappy because she wanted them to get perfect marks. When she felt frustrated, she disguised herself and went to meet the minister's secretary under the pretext that she wanted to get to know him. She approached him and told him that she wanted to sleep with him in his office and spend the night there. She puts a drug in his drink, then steals the exam questions so that her students get high grades. After a week, all the teachers meet at the school and the school principal announces the result of the exam. Indeed, Elizabeth's class is the one with the highest grades, and he gives her the financial reward. She felt happy because she would finally have plastic surgery. Scott congratulates her on that. Then Amy comes over and tells her she's happy for her. Then she tried to provoke her, telling her that she would go with Scott on a spring trip with all the students to supervise the trip. Elizabeth tries not to show that she is upset, but then she goes and pays money to have plastic surgery. Then she returns to school, enters Amy's classroom, and places an apple on her desk that contains a harmful herb that causes pimples on the face. Amy is already eating the apple. Then we see the school principal asking Elizabeth to go with Scott on the trip because Amy has pimples on her face and he is afraid that they will infect the students. Amy suspected Elizabeth was the one who caused this, but she had no proof. She goes to Elizabeth's class and takes her office desk and discovers that she has the questions, and she stole them from the minister's secretary. She meets the secretary and accuses him of leaking exam questions to Elizabeth, but he tells her that he did not give her the questions, but that she was staying up late with him in the office and he suspects that she stole it. She goes back to the school principal and tells him what happened. Meanwhile, Elizabeth was with Scott on the trip and trying to get closer to him. At the hotel, she went to his room and they spent the night together, where she called Amy and made her hear what they were doing. The next day, the history teacher talks to the students and tells them that a successful person must say what is inside him. Garrett is encouraged and tells his friend that he likes her, but the girl embarrasses him and tells him that she does not like him. Elizabeth goes to him and advises him to change the way he speaks and try to wear something beautiful in order to attract the girl's attention. Amy comes and is angry with her because she had an affair with her boyfriend, Scott. Then she told her that she and the minister's secretary were being investigated over the story of leaking exam questions. Elizabeth went to her friend, gave him an envelope, and asked him to hand it over to the minister's secretary before he went to investigate. Indeed, he meets the secretary and gives him the envelope. He is surprised that there are pictures of him without clothes. He finds out that Elizabeth was the one who did it. He decided not to reveal it so as not to be exposed. The principal of the school decided that Elizabeth was innocent because he had no evidence against her. Amy gets angry and tells the school principal that Elizabeth is using drugs. So, Elizabeth asked the school principal to call the police so they could search her office because she knew that Amy had taken her office desk. When the police arrived, they had a dog with them to smell the drugs. The dog actually arrived at Amy's classroom and found the drugs on Elizabeth's table, which Amy had stolen. She is arrested by the police. At the end of the school year, the school principal thanks them for their performance. Amy tells them that she is transferring to a new school and is excited to meet new people. Scott tells Elizabeth that he broke up with Amy and wants to enter into a relationship with her. But she refuses that and goes to Russell and tells him that she wants to enter into a relationship with him because he loves her and will make her happy. Don't forget to support me with the like and subscribe buttons. Stay tuned for more film recaps.